All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen in. Let's listen in. Go ahead.
All right. So, the slide. So, gather around, children, gather around. I have a little story that I'd like to tell you of the time when I was a young girl down at a little town that was called Sauk Prairie, is where I actually grew up. And so it actually all starts out when I was back in 3rd grade. And then in 3rd grade, we had this beautiful little ferry that went across a beautiful lake called Lake Wisconsin. It was very, very nice. And I remember one night that Mom had just gotten back from the Sauk Prairie Grill, and she was talking to Dad, and they heard that there might be a 4-lane highway that was going to go and bypass our city. And I was thinking, cool, fast car, right? So that would be really, really fun. But then I started to get a little bit older in the 2nd grade. They started to build it, and I saw the biggest cranes I'd ever seen in my whole entire life, and it was really beautiful. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that there were a lot of less people that were in our city. And Mom noticed that there weren't that many people that were actually eating at our restaurant anymore, which was kind of a bummer. And actually, Mom and Dad were kind of stressed out. But then we actually read in the newspaper the very next day when I was in 5th grade.
Time travel.
That the village board decided that there was actually going to be a brand new zip line in town, and I was so excited. It was going to go across the Wisconsin River, and we were so pumped for it. There was more people that were coming into our areas and eating food and different things, and I loved the new park. It was so great. And sure enough, it was wonderful. Even in 8th grade, there was more people coming, and the economy was doing really well. And but also downtown, a lot less people too. So it was kind of weird. And actually, Mom had to change her job. She started working for the zipline company. But actually, more other companies started to come in, and there was actually a roller coaster that was built. Loved it. My friends and I used to go all the time. But once I started to be a junior, I started to notice there was a lot of different things that were going on in the town. For instance, the water quality was actually really deteriorated because of all of the water parks that were happening. So actually, we used to have this thing called Eagle Days. No more. There's no more eagles. I know, it was horrible. And then also the ferry. We didn't need the ferry anymore because everybody was taking the big highway, so they closed down the ferry as well. There was a lot more people in our community. And I noticed that my friend Sarah, she kind of got into the wrong crowd and was actually hanging out with some people that were doing these hard drugs. Don't do them, little girl, grandkid. And it was actually kind of not very good. So once I went out to college and I came here to Kansas, University of Kansas, of course, I came back and I found my boyfriend, your grandpa, and we decided that we were thinking about coming back to this area, to Sauk Prairie, but we noticed that it just did not look like the same Sauk Prairie that we used to go to. And so there's just a lot of poverty, and I really wanted to have a good career, but I couldn't find a good career that I wanted in Sauk Prairie. So we moved to Lawrence, Kansas, and that's why we have been here for the last 70 years. It's crazy, yeah. So that's.
Do you think I should go visit the Sauk Prairie?
I don't think you should go visit that Sauk Prairie. It's not very nice. But I know that there's some other really nice towns around there, like Reedsburg. So that's why we couldn't come back anymore. That's why
Good.